Yeah. Boom. We live. We're ready. We're going. We are right here. As you know, Tunde Ajayi, the mad Nigerian brother, he's not with us today because he is jet setting somewhere. He's somewhere, but the person that will be joining me this evening is actually Mark Prince, a former world light heavyweight contender, world title challenger. He will be joining me. We've got loads of things to discuss. I mean, loads and loads of things to discuss. So Mark should be jumping in now. I don't know where he is, but if he's not here, Manny's going to be sorting out the things in the background. But we start in the famous words of dream it, believe it, become it. Come on up. You know how this thing goes. It's been an eventful last 3 weeks, and my apologies that we weren't here last week. Both of us were really busy, so it didn't happen. My apologies for that, but I am here today, and we got loads of things to talk about. I was very, very impressed with Jack Catterall last night against Regis Prograis. That was a very, very good fight. It was an entertaining fight, to say the least. I enjoyed that fight a lot. Tunde's in hiding, you mean? Put out Manny. What's that? Live life and said Tunde's in hiding. Why would you think that Tunde would be in hiding? I'd love to hear your reason why. And I want to wish a massive happy promoter's birthday to our brother from another mother, big supporter of the Stamina for Sale group, big supporter of the Fight is Right, our brother, Mr. Bobby Wright. Also want to say a massive happy 60th birthday to the one and only Commander B, who has been incredible. If everybody knows from back in the day, from Lightning Radio, then he was on Choice Event for ages. He's one of the pioneers of promoting the urban music, because all of these young guys through his studio as well, all of these guys kind of came through him. All like there were so many guys, the Wileys, Lethal B, all of them guys use his studio. So I have to say a massive happy birthday to him as well. Phil Answer, big up yourself. Let me just say all the people who's up in already. Yes. The mayor of Brixton, big up yourself. Bobby Wright, big up yourself. What's this little girl doing? 1 second. That happens when you come back in this house. You know what you did? I'm just seeing my daughter's might be in her bed, right? She's just walking up and down like she's paying electric bill in this house. What you doing? Good night. Anyway, Celestial, big up yourself. Luminary Nerd, big up yourself. AO, big up yourself. You Love Boxing, big up. Jay Lance, big up. Daniel J. Botang, big up. Frizz, big up. Rob Meyer, big up. Spen Boxing, big up. Grace Edmonds, big up. Miss Levy, big up. Lee S, big up. Yemi, big up. Manifesting Success, big up. Too much. Mikey Doug, big up. Anyway, there's too many people for me to go call right now. Right, Jermaine Williams, I have to big you up. AAV Developers, big up yourself as well. Phil Answer, big up. Right, I think that's all the big ups right now. I'd like to know where Mark Prince is right now. If Mark Prince is around, let me know what's going on. If he's not here, don't worry. 1 second. I've got somebody else to come on. I've got somebody else to come on right now because I don't know what's happened to Mark Prince. Maybe he's doing something in the church. I don't know. It's Sunday and I know them man are busy. So because man know we're already here. Oh, Mark, you decided to come in, yeah?
Yes, my brother. My apologies for my 5-minute late arrival.
Yeah, it's all right, man. That's not new. It's like somebody's got to take. Let me just back this up.
Yeah.
Like I was set right now. That's way better for me as well, because it seems like I was a bit congested in this thing. How you doing, Mark? I know like technology and setting up things ain't too good for you right now. Don't worry about it.
No.
Mark, you lost weight, you know, bro.
Huh?
You lost weight, man. I've seen like you've been doing a lot of work in the community with young kids, teaching them boxing. It's like I see one little young girl. I see the young girl punch you up, Mark. That's what I saw.
You know, innit?
I see the young girl punching you up, Mark. Actually,
Yes,
I can't see your head now. You've cut your head off, bro.
Okay, how's that?
That's a lot better. Yeah. Thank you very much. That is a lot better.
Brilliant. Let me find some light. You need some more light? Where's the light? Okay.
Yeah, the light's fine. The light's fine. I got darkers on, so I can't really see.
Okay.
Yeah, that will do. Yeah, that will do me, brother. That will do, mate.
Beautiful.
That will do. So yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's good to be here. Nice to welcome you on.
Right, big up Pioneer Capital as well. Listen, but yeah, Mark, I see you doing some work with the Kion Prince Foundation with some little young kids doing boxing. I saw one little young lady punch you up, bro.
Bro, let me tell you something. I've been working with this girl for probably about a year now. Okay. And her level of improvement is just skyrocketed. I've been just working on her mind as well, because she's really gentle. But I've just been putting that warrior in her mindset, and it's coming out in her work. So I'm just over the moon, just seeing her getting to work and just seeing her keeping busy as she's working to keep her work rate up. So I just want to see her taking people out. She's got the power, she's got the ability. I just want to see her taking people out. So I think another few months working with her, and I'm going to let her go and release her into the boxing world and let her start smashing up the amateurs on the scene.
Okay. Yeah, I was pleasantly watching her do a little sparring. I see like she was like a little beast on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm really proud of that, bro. I want her to set herself on me, see the openings, go for them. Okay. I'm still not smashed up enough to I can still handle going in there. So I work with a lot of the boys as well. I've got some really strong young boys in there that's coming up neatly. And I've been working with them for like a couple of years, and now I'm seeing the foundations building. It's really, people don't understand, it takes a while to build a foundation of a fighter. So he's drilled in having his footwork right, he's drilled in his jabbing abilities and the science in his mind, understanding how to create openings, how to keep distance, all of that. There's so much that goes into it. So I've just been taking my time working with these youths, you know, every day, and just seeing it not only in the ring, but in their lives. A lot of people don't realize a lot of these boys come to me and there's so much going on. Like I'm always helping them out with beef that they're getting into, but they want to come off the roads. Okay. So I get involved with the parents, I get involved with the youth, and I try to help them to just process all of that. Some of them have been stabbed and they're trying to process some of that trauma. And the reason why they're behaving the way they are, they don't even realize it, is because of the trauma that they've been through. So obviously, because of my certified life coaching, and I'm also certified with trauma coaching, I can help them through that process as well. So yeah, we're making really great leaps and bounds. Parents are always messaging me. I don't really talk about my work, like always putting it out, but I just try and put some stuff out on KPF, but in depth, and how we're turning these kids around. I don't really go into it too much, but parents are always talking with me, the process of their kids, how happy they are. Sometimes I'll take the youth out to places that I'm going to, because I know that the youth has never been in those environments. He's never been around big names. He's never been around successful business people. He's never been around that world. So recently I took about 4 youths to like a dinner show. It was like an evening with Les Ferdinand. So we took
Okay,
it.
I saw that. I saw that in Insta.
Yeah, they were so gassed, Spence. They were so gassed. But my parents are calling me like, wow, you really helped my youth to kind of like start seeing life different, that he could kind of be involved in this kind of life. He'd never been at a dinner show and 3-course meals and all of that with people with deep pockets that really kind of welcomed him and wanted to talk to him, and he can go and build relationships with them, by himself. So it's just doors we opening. Yeah, it's just doors, Spence. Yeah,
it's absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to continue to talk about the brilliant work that the Kion Prince Foundation is doing with Mark Prince. But before we do that, without further ado, our first guest that's joining us today is Mr. Sam Jones. Will you click him in there, Manny? And can we put Sam in the middle, please? Put Sam in the middle. That's right. Put Sam in the middle. You know why I've got to put you in the middle?
Don't put me in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle.
I have to put you. I'll tell you why we got to put you in the middle. Yeah? Right? Because you look like a piece of cheese in between the 2 pieces of meat right now. That's what you look like right now.
Or 2 pieces of meat. Whole grain slices of bread, yeah?
No, Sam, I want to ask you something, yeah? What's the opposite of left?
What do you mean?
What's the opposite of left?
Right.
Yeah? What's the opposite of the devil?
God.
Right hand to God. Anyway, let's move on with the show. Listen.
Holy Spence.
Listen. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like Spence. We'll go into detail as to why that came up. But yeah, go on.
Now, listen. Let me just tell you this now. Yeah, that was a fantastic performance that was put on yesterday by Jack Catterall, and well done for. I got to give you the dues where it is, and but you made a lot of headlines with this right hand to God, and you're forgetting what you say. Now, I'm just going to say to you, is it that you talk a lot of shit and then you forget the shit that you say? Or is it that, I'm just want to know, I'm asking you a question, right?
Yeah,
or is it that it was just, I know the rules, but we can't get into depth in it. But yeah, please explain to the people what happened there, Sam.
So 3 years ago, I was working for a company that promoted Regis Prograis, and Jack was just going to come into the fold. And we wanted to make the fight between Regis and Jack. So I was speaking, it wasn't a voice note, it was a private conversation on a Zoom call.
And he recorded it.
Correct. No, Regis never recorded it. Regis never recorded it. It was his then manager at the time who he sacked about a year ago, a guy called Sam Kotovsky, who was obviously recording the chat. And obviously, being a promoter at the time, I'm not going to get Regis Prograis to have a fight with Jack Catterall by saying, oh, by the way, Jack's going to soundly outpoint you, but we think you should defend your belt against him. Like, you're not going to convince him by doing that. So it was just that 3 years ago, I wasn't working with Jack. I just said, look, it's a great fight. You'll flatten him. You'll do all that. And I just simply forgot I had that conversation. It was 3 years ago. If you remember the chats you had 3 years ago, Spence, you're a better man than me. I can't remember
the chats I had 3 years ago.
What? Say again?
I do remember them. My memory's nuts. You should know that. I've got nuts memory.
You're a better man than me, because 3 years ago, I mean, I have a lot of Zoom chats in a week. I have 100 Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
So I just forgot I had the chat. So I was just like very convinced. I thought he's messing with me here. So I was like, right hand to God, I haven't said that. But ultimately, he had my pants down, and I stuttered like Gareth Gates in his Pop Idol audition, and he beat me up in the press conference. But I did say, I says that the last win of your career is going to come against me. But beating me is, you don't get no points or dough out of beating me. You've got to beat Jack Catterall. And Jack Catterall beat him. But what I will say about Regis is, and we had a little chat after the fight, he fought like a warrior, and I respect him as a fighter, because many a men wouldn't have carried on in the fight, because when Jack dropped him, he rolled his ankle, rolled his knee. So I told him, I said, listen, you're a warrior, you're a great dad, you're a good family man. You bashed me up in the press conference, which doesn't happen to you which doesn't happen very often. But it sold the fight. I didn't even mean to do it this time, and I somehow managed to do it. But look, it is what it is, and I'm not a perfect human being. We can all improve on how we are and how we speak and carry ourselves. And we're not. I'm not a finished article. I don't profess to be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just doing my best. But one thing I am, Spence. One thing I definitely am. I'm the best manager in Great Britain by an absolute mile. By the way. So, but person-wise, there's always room for improvement. But nobody works harder than me. Nobody. So,
for their fighter,
there.
for
And I
their
have great
fighter.
respect for you, by the way. I have great respect for you. And if there's anything I can do for like your foundations that you do, please ask, and I'll be there in a
100%,
heartbeat.
Sam. Enough respect
I'll
for
be there
that,
in a
bro.
heartbeat, and I really mean that as well.
Nah, you know what?
Beautiful.
One thing I've got with Sam, he's a grafter. Give him that. He's a grafter. Do you understand? So people get facade and think, he's this and that and that. But I've known Sam from when people didn't know Sam. I'm saying he's a grafter, and
Nice.
you know what? I take people as a and he's always been cool with me. But moving on, that fight.
Can I quickly ask Sam why he believes that he's the best manager? What makes you the best manager, Sam?
For every penny I earn, I work so hard for it. I I don't just see my fighters on fight week. I'm there for them. Like that's what I mean. That's why I'm probably not the best partner to be around. I'm on the phone 24/7. There's no job too big or too small. I'll do anything. Like if I don't just put my hand out after a fight and say, "Oh, thanks, I've got you this fight. Do this." You've got to be there for your fighter emotionally, mentally, whatever they need. Because getting punched in the head for a living, you have to earn every small cent you earn, whether it's a big amount of money or a small amount of money. Which is the reason why I believe I've got the best stable in Great Britain.
So do you think it's because you care about your fighters, and a
Yeah,
lot of
that's what it
managers
is. I
don't have
can't.
that,
It's
that
just my
caring
personal.
piece in there?
Yeah, it's just my personal opinion. I just feel like,
Yeah,
look, everyone's different. I'm not for everybody. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm very
yeah, of
full on.
course.
Like I'm on it. I'm on it constantly. But I think it's just the way my brain works. But that's what I
Mm,
mean. But I love it as well. And I feel because I'm not the most naturally talented person in the world, I feel
yeah,
like I overcompensate it for the work that I do. Does that make sense?
yeah, 100%.
And that's the reason
And
why I
that's
think
beautiful.
that I've got a decent profile. I'm not saying I'm massive, but I've got a decent profile in boxing. And whether you like me or whether you don't, you have to acknowledge the fact, acknowledge what I'm doing. So,
Lovely,
Do you know
lovely.
what? I want to get back to Jack Catterall right
Yeah, 100.
now. And I'm telling people now that Jack Catterall is a throwback fighter to the 40s and 50s,
Spencer,
right?
I have to tell you something as well, because he's won the fights. There's no need to even mention this, but Jack went into the fight there with, as I say, he literally had a broken rib. He went into the fight with a broken
Bro,
rib, and I can show you the reports, everything. And he
bro,
had
to me, I know
he
you
had
not as a liar. To
and
me,
he and he
you've
had a
kept it
flu.
100 with me.
He had a flu as well. So he had the flu. He had a blocked nose. You hear it in all his interviews before. Listen, watch the press conference, not the part where Regis bodies me, but the ones where just watch it. He's got a blocked up nose, and his ribs back. His rib was broke, which is the reason why of the first postponement. So look, I'm not making excuses, but that was a 40% Jack Catterall, and I thought towards the end of the fight, the championship, that's definitely the championship rounds, I thought Jack was outstanding. I thought it was absolutely
It
outstanding.
was,
Do you know what? You
especially the
saying
pull out
that
left
to
hand.
me,
Sorry, one second more. Especially the
yeah,
pull out left hand that he dropped Regis Prograis with. Yeah, I was like, because that was a proper hard shot,
Jack
and
can dig,
I'm
Spence.
surprised that he got up.
I'm not, because I know Regis is a warrior. Even though he did me dirty, he's a warrior. He really
no,
is,
he's a true
and I knew
warrior.
he'd fight, and I knew he'd
That
hit it.
shot was so well timed.
Jack's timing's
It was
amazing.
his
That's what makes him the
timing.
fighter he is.
And I get what Spencer's saying when he's talking about old, back in the day fighter. Just watch how he fights, how he
He
goes
lives
about.
right though. He lives right. A lot of fighters, listen. A lot of fighters, they'll decide. Do you know when they get a fight date, right? They'll get a fight, and Spence will be more clued in than me on this, but I've been around the game a long time. I've been very fortunate to spend lots of time with Golovkin when I stayed in Big Bear for 6 months at a time with Joe Joyce and Linares. Like these fighters, like they live like fighters. But Jack Catterall, do you know, not even when because he was out the ring for politics. Like when I got involved with Jack, I said, we need to get you active. That's the main thing I want to achieve with Jack, activity and get you the recognition. But long story short, Jack's in the gym. So like he will have a week off, right, with his family. He'll go on holiday for a couple of weeks, but he'll have a week of, I don't know, he'll have a pizza, but then he will start eating good and he'll train. Jack's never ever out of the gym. He's always wanting to get better. Like even at the age, they say he's 31 years old, but we believe he's in his prime because Jack's not been in any wars really. So this is his physical prime. So when you say he's a throwback fighter, he really is a throwback fighter. It's the best way to describe him.
Listen, without a doubt, nobody can't tell me that he's not a throwback fighter. And I'll say to anyone, like, when you watch him and like how he boxes, yeah, there was a man called Barney Ross, if you guys are not talking about who Sylvester Stallone played in The Expendables or whatever it's bloody called. I'm talking about Barney Ross, the professional fighter, who's former lightweight and welterweight world champion. Go and watch him and go and watch Jack Catterall. For you young guys who keep on jumping on there because a lot of you listen, go and watch him and go and tell me that Jack Catterall is not the reincarnation of him. I'm telling you this now. Jack Catterall, you could etch him and put him in the 40s and 50s and fit right in. His style, his balance, because he's not fireworks. He's not like, oh my goodness gracious. But he does subtle brilliance, bro.
Yeah.
He does subtle brilliance. And you know the person that it was Lee Baird that brought it up to me, and he was saying, trust me, Spencer, he's something else. And when they did the first Josh Taylor fight, where they jobbed him, he got jobbed in that fight.
100%.
We're not allowed to mention that fight.
What? Got absolutely mugged off.
Yeah, of course
it was not
right.
close. And
I remember, like, me and Tunde did the watch along for it. Like, we was going nuts, right?
100%.
That was absolutely disgusting. But you know what? Credit where credit's due, right? And the thing what I like about Jack, he don't need to talk, because you see, like, if you see a fighter who don't really talk that much, who's a bit subdued and stuff like that, right? You need someone like Sam Jones. Period. I'm gonna be real. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna keep this thing totally 100. Joshua Buatsi actually needs Sam Jones. I've said it. You heard me, right? Joshua Buatsi needs Sam Jones. Reason being why you need Sam Jones. No, I'm telling you now. He does. Because you need someone who's got fireworks.
There's a mesh of the relationships. Sam Style and Buatsi. It works.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Because I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I see what he's doing with his brethren, Sinclair. I can see what he's trying to do with his brethren. Yeah? And Sinclair's my brethren, but you ain't the guy. You need a man with a vocal mouthpiece, especially if you want to start doing pay-per-views. You need somebody there. That's all I'm saying, right? Take it as you want, but you know what? And if you want, I could have sent you Sam Jones' number right now. But take my foolish advice. You need someone like a Sam Jones. You know why? Because especially they're talking about this Buatsi and Yarde fight, yeah.
Josh, but two great fights. I listen. I like both guys. It's a brilliant fight. That fight should have happened a while ago, though.
Yeah, it's got to happen now.
Of course it should. But let me tell you this, yeah. There's hype around Anthony Yarde. No matter what he does, there's hype around him. There's hype around the whole camp. You know what I mean? Tunde Ajayi, James Cook, Addy. There's hype around the whole camp. Unfortunately, there ain't no hype around. Even though he's a really good fighter, there's no hype around it. So seriously, there'll be nobody more fitting, in my mind, right, than Sam Jones. If I was you, man, there, and it's no disrespect to who you tried to bring in your hype man, because I see your hype man tried to come and try edge up his face, and I heard that he got buoyed off at ringside. Joshua Buatsi's hype man tried to, and like their man had to bad him up. So I hear. But anyway, but it is weird.
Listen, now, like, I've been doing this nearly 10 years, Spence. You know what I mean? So like, I would say I'm like, it's not just. I know I can't help myself. I know I'm like, I get excited. Do you know what I mean? At press conferences, I get excited. I just do me, but I believe that I do benefit the fighter as well. But it's not just that. This is just an extra. Me, the promoter side of me is an extra with the management side. It's just, I don't know. Listen, who knows? Who knows what happens? I'm happy with who I'm working with. Really happy with who I'm working with. It's the best time I've had in boxing. I'll be honest with you, Jack's one of the best human beings I've ever met. I'll be honest with you that I'm incredibly happy. I've just signed a beast called Connor Tudsbury. You're gonna love him, Spence. You're gonna really love him.
What's his name?
Connor Tudsbury from the GB squad,
Okay, what weight is he?
light heavyweight,
Who's he
It's in
training
my
with?
weight group.
with
Yeah,
Jamie Moore.
he's training with Jamie Moore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you this.
Nice.
Jamie Moore's my brother. Big up
Yeah,
Jamie.
Jamie more sound.
He's a real one. He's a real one, and like also on that, Jamie Moore's family, they're real people. You know, the craziest thing is this: it's like Jamie knows energy goes where it flows, and we're going back 5 years ago, and I was on holiday in Turkey, and I was by the pool, and when I was sat down at the pool, some geezer come to me, you're Spencer Fearon, innit? I was like, yeah, we're having a chat. He goes, oh, you know what? I work with Jamie Moore's dad. I said, for real? He's like, yeah, I work with Jamie Moore's dad. And we're having a really good chat at the pool. And these kids are playing with my kids. And not even 5 minutes after that, Jamie Moore phones me to say, oh, Spence, I ain't got Tunde's number. But yeah, just wish him and Anthony Yarde all the best. Anthony Yarde was getting ready to fight Kovalev the night after. And I'm saying energy goes with pros. I got so much time for Jamie Moore and his family. We spent a lot of time together when being on holidays and that.
It's my
So
favorite time in
big up
boxing.
Jamie.
I've got a few fights with Jamie now. It's my favorite time in boxing. I say nearly 10 years. I'm the happiest I've ever been, like with the people I'm working with, the fighters I have. I'm in a very content place. That's why when I was getting a bit of stick in the week, it's water off a duck's back. My shark's like
Of
hammer.
course.
I've got hammerhead shark skin.
Brother, those things don't affect Sam. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was mine.
You know what I mean? Even
There's worse
though
things. There's worse things happening in the world than some guy called Steve on Twitter giving me some shit. Like there's worse things
Exactly.
in life that's happening.
but right hand to God, bro. I'm just trying to say to you, you heathen. Anyway, let's move on, right? You're going to hell for that, brother. But what I'm trying to say to you,
Wait. I just want to say, yeah, because we can't pass that point about Catterall going in even remotely ill around the build up to the fight.
He was.
Because I personally remember how tough that is. Like, we know a lot of fighters don't go into fights 100%.
He
There's some
wasn't even 50.
injuries
He
here
wasn't
or
even
there,
50.
right? But one time I went into a fight, the whole camp, many, I was probably one of the only ones that didn't pull out of my fight. But this was early in my career, and a lot of the fighters, there was a flu in the camp, and it was going round. But I didn't want to pull out. But I found it draining in the fight. And it was strange. Spencer would remember Tony Booth, who was a very well-respected journeyman who ripped up the script on quite a few prospect fighters coming up. And I had him, and
He was the Kamil Sokolovsky of the then day.
trust
he
me,
was.
bro. He will mug you off if you're not 100% ready.
If you're
And
no
he
good,
was for 3
you're
rounds.
gonna get found out. Yeah.
And because I was drained, and I thought, wow, it was only my brain that was smart enough to draw him on to a punch. But I'm just saying, for Catterall to go into a fight, and he had some flu or a cold. That's a 100%
Your fight
pull-out
was
reason.
94 in it, Mark.
But he's a real warrior.
Yeah, he is.
That fight was 94 in it.
That fight was what?
You and Booth. That was 94. I'm sure it was 94.
Yeah, that was probably about 95. Because then when I signed with Frank set me up to fight him a second time. But I done a better job the second time than I did the first time. I have so much respect for him because he bust up Bruce, some
Scott.
heavyweight yes.
He went points with Bruce.
Yeah, he bust up Bruce Scott, and like that wasn't expected. But that's what I'm saying about this guy. You can't overlook him. He'll take you out, mate. He'll still be in there after a good beating and then break your heart and take you out. And he outpointed him on the day. But kudos to my man, because people don't know what goes on in between the silent bits of the fight and what's happening between the fighters. And I think Catterall's really good in the quiet bits where you're just moving around kind of thinking, you know, and people that don't have that knowledge about boxing thinking, come on, for a punch. What's going on in his mind there, and then what he executes and does is always really good, really intelligent.
Yeah, Sam's got some Nigerian Wi-Fi because we just lost him. But yeah,
he's a really special guy.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully he'll jump back on, but if he doesn't, you know what I mean, it's God that mash him up about right hand to God. God just take him off the thing, bro.
Hey, listen, why was Catterall? Catterall wasn't an underdog for this fight, was he? What was the odds on this one?
Catterall was the favourite for the fight.
Oh, 100% he should be.
Catterall was the favourite for the fight. But
100%.
Regardless of all of that, it was still a good fight against a former two-time world champion.
Two-time.
Right? But in all fair honesty, my mind, a lot of people's mind, Jack Catterall should have been world champion the night when he fought Josh Taylor.
Oh,
right? Exactly.
Easy.
I mean, and hopefully he does get a shot for
undisputed.
It'd be nice to go out Sam. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been. So I mean, unfortunately, we lost Sam Jones because most probably battery dead. But it is what it is. But we can also move on. Did you see Campbell Hatton's fight?
Campbell
Hatton, Ricky Hatton's son.
Nah.
You didn't see it?
Nah.
Well, he got beat again by a guy called James Flint. They fought.
Well, that's probably why I didn't see it. I'll be honest. Like, I'm really not a fan. Like, he's overhyped. I'm sorry, man. Like, he's given lots of opportunities because he's Hatton's boy, but he's not. I don't think he's 50% of Hatton. His dad.
No, you know what? I think there's a lot. You know what? I'm noticing this. It's like when you see children who try to emulate their fathers. Yeah. Right. Ricky Hatton is a British boxing icon. He's a legend. Right? He's a legend.
100%.
It's very difficult. I notice when guys, and I remember having this conversation with Conor Ben.
Yeah.
I remember having this conversation with Conor Ben when he first came over here. So we're going about 8 years ago, right? And let's talk about him turning pro and blah and all the rest of it. And he was only a kid then, and he come up to me and he said, "It's amazing how he's grown in stature, right?" And we was talking because we was at dinner, where I was one of the guests of honors. It was Nigel Ben dinner, and he says to me, "Yeah, I've got big shoes to fill." And I said, "You ain't got no big shoes to fill. You've only got your shoes to fill."
That's right.
And maybe Campbell Hatton's of the same mindset, thinking that he's got big shoes to fill, trying to emulate his dad when he should be trying to carve his own path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see the ratings there. I think you should have your own identity. You don't have to come in a Ricky Hatton shorts, style of shorts. All those kind of things. I think you need to carve your own identity, number one. But then number two, Barry Smith's my good friend, right?
Yeah.
But what I've noticed about a lot of UK-based trainers, right, is like a lot of UK-based trainers only teach offense. They're offensively minded. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see no defense on the side of Campbell Hatton going into that fight. And I didn't see no improvements neither in there with Campbell Hatton going into this fight against Flint, a man that previously beat him. I didn't see no improvements. What I saw was him just trying to say, my improvements are gonna be like, I'm gonna out tough you. I'm gonna bludgeon you down. That's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna beat you. You know what I mean? I didn't see, and this is no disrespect to the brother, I didn't see any IQ being administered there. None
It's
at all.
IQ.
I didn't see it, Mark. And and it's kind of sad because he's also starting to 258, which is Andy Joshua's company, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm just saying, like, is it that we enjoy sweet lies instead of the bitterness of the truth? Because me personally, I would have gone to Campbell Hatton if I was working with him, and I would teach that young man how to jab. That is it. I would teach him how to win a round just by your jab, right? Because it's a man that you've already beaten, and you know what I mean, you're going in with a rematch now. You know what I mean? If you don't change, nothing else changes. So there was no
100%.
change in your fight approach. I want people to realize this part here, yeah? If you do not change, then nothing else changes. And I like Campbell Hatton. He's a very nice. I don't really know you. I've only seen him once. He said hello, and that was it. I know his dad well, right? So I'm saying, off of that, I rate the fact that you thought, okay, then, well, things weren't rolling a certain way. I'm going to dig up where I am, and I'm going to leave, and I'm gonna go. Come down to London, which is done, right? And he's training in Joshua's camp now. Well, he's got Barry Smith, Ben Davison there as well. There's a loads of different fighters in there. Chris Congo's in that camp as well. What's the other, the cruiserweight brother?
Who's that? Chris Billum Smith.
Where's he?
Who's that? Reactpool.
No. The cruiserweight. There's some little bully boy cruiserweight. Alois.
Okay.
Right. Alois is there as well.
Yeah.
Tama's there. What you notice about this, like, this game is really swings and roundabouts, right? Like, with trainers, it's like, when you're up there, like, everybody will rush. You know what I mean? Everybody will rush you or rush to go to you or anything else. They're going to rush to go to you, right? And I'm saying sometimes when that happens, it's good because, you know, when you're in a camp, when Carly Carew was on fire and, like, he had these little hit squad, there was you, Sham Joe, Morris Core, who else was there? Gary Lowe. Yeah, you lot was fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You lot was fire. And everybody rubs off with each other because you're training at certain times and, like, you steal a piece from him, steal a piece from him, steal it. Right. But I want to know, are people seriously focusing on you because of you, or are they focused on you? I'm talking about not for the TV, because TV gonna focus because you're the son of a jet. But are the trainers focused on you properly, or are they focused on you because you're Ricky Hands?
It's a hard one when you've got a dad,
okay,
and especially when you, in your mindset, you've got, as he said to you, hard boots to fill. So straight away, he has that in his mind, but he's not the only one. Because look at my comment. One of the first comments I made was, well, you know, without even thinking, straight away, I'm thinking about his dad. It's sort of a natural thing to do, and I'm not violating him at all because I've got utmost respect for him as a fighter, just coming out and fighting and still being able to, in his own right, be able to hold his own and be a good fighter. But I just think that when you can't help it anyway, you're going to use that name because it's a name. How can you not use it? It's hard to come out on your own rights and on your own skill set when that name's there. No matter what Conor Ben does, Nigel Ben, that name's already been created and branded. Eubank, it's already created and branded. You're not starting afresh. So I think it's difficult for sons to come after dads. And unless that son is a really special piece of work, that's when he starts creating his own legacy 100%. Out of the way that he fights. But you normally find that the son doesn't seem to quite cut it in that warrior level mindset. Like as good as Chris is, we're always going to go for senior than junior, because look at senior's level of fights he brought us, and they were brilliant, win or lose, and we love him.
Like I said, it's difficult, and thank you very much. Pioneer Capital, put that one up there, Manny. The Lee S says spot on mark. Yep. Daniel J. Boltang, fact, Mark, preach. It's only because I'm not in control of it now, because usually Tunde said doing that, and I don't know what Manny's doing now. Manny's just most probably gone. He's most probably with some little young gal right now. I can't keep up with these little young kids, right? But I'm just keeping this thing on the reels. Like yesterday, and I'm seeing like it's kind of like a change of the guard as well. But what I noticed yesterday on the show yesterday when dealing with Campbell Hatton was there's so many things that he needs to be taught, that is not being taught. You know what I mean, there is so many things, but
I see that with so many fighters though, Spence.
Brother,
I don't think they're into the foundational locking in drills like they have been in the past with fighters. It has changed, because I remember before. Do you remember before that you had to build up a record of 20 yards before you went for your first title fight?
Them days are done, brother. Forget about it. Them days are done.
It's the money and how many different belts come in, because it's the increase of money. It's a bit like football, They bring more cups, they create more championship things to the football. It brings in more money, and it's the same as happened to boxing. It gives everyone an opportunity, and you could put on more title fights, and you can make more revenue. But I think it has taken away the quality of the level of boxing and the warriors that you get at the top level. So you're going to get a lot of guys who wouldn't normally have kind of got past sort of British level, and they're up there with belts and going into world level, but they're missing fundamentals, like cutting off the ring. You'll see man still following man, and they're up at European and world level, but you're following fighters around when you just need to cut them off. I see that many times.
Yeah, but you're saying this. Hold up, Mark. You see how you're turning around saying, "Oh, you just need to cut them off." Yeah. I'm gonna listen. I had my rant last week. No, the week before last, because Yarde box last week. The week before.
I remember.
So we did the show. You watched the show. You watched that fight, yeah?
Yeah.
And I want people to realize this, right? Because people think that we're avoiding the questions about Anthony Yarde. I'm not avoiding anything. I did an interview on Boxing Community. I would address the same thing. If not, I had someone to go last week, and so did Tunde, so we didn't do the show, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just keeping this thing 100. Because everyone's talking about Yarde Boatsy fight, and how fickle people are. And they are fickle, right? Right? All the credit in the world to Anthony Yarde's opponent of last week Saturday, right? All the credit in the world. He was not a muppet. He was a man that's ranked in the rank number 15 in the WBA, right? He was a man that's never been stopped before, neither. And everything's learning. And usually, I remember, Anthony Yarde has boxed since February. So we're getting like close enough 8 months where he hasn't boxed. He dropped a guy in the first round, so I'm going to address this, right? He dropped the guy in the first round, and most probably in his head, like, oh, chap, this is going to be like one of them days because this is what I'm used to. And fair play to his opponent, the guy marked and boxed and did what he had to do. But let's just keep this thing totally real, right? Does anybody in their right mind believe that anti-Yarde that you saw last week would be the anti-Yarde that would turn up to fight Joshua Boatsy. Because if you do, then you're an idiot.
I wouldn't understand boxing.
Thank you. Now, surely you're a learned man. You're a man that's fought for a world title. You're a man that's been at the highest level. Could you just explain to people, like, when you get these little Billy man to fight, sometimes you can just go down to the level. You know what? But there's also in this game, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because if Andy Yarde banged out that guy in the first round, you know what? How there's brought over another bum. How there's her. You know what? Let me tell you this. I'm going to be real. That's the best thing that could have ever happened to Andy Yarde. For him to say that, right, I'm going to get 10 rounds in. The best thing that could have ever happened to him.
Listen, the reason why these things happen in boxing sometimes is to wake us up, to show us that our minds aren't thinking the right way it should be. Every time you go in that ring, you're supposed to bring 100, your best, and you're supposed to show the work you've been doing inside the gym that you're improving. So that the way Anthony would have liked this to go was for him to recognize from early on that I need to be in here systematically breaking down this opponent so I can get him down in the later rounds. The reason why that didn't happen, the reason why he didn't clock and get into this mode was because in the first round, when you drop your guy and in your head you believe I've got him, it takes a while for you to figure out, hold on a minute, where's that right hand that dropped him in the first place? I'm not getting it. I'm getting punched up myself. And the reason why he's getting punched up is because he hasn't recognized that, you know what, I'm in a real fight with this guy and he's giving back as good as he's getting. He's still got his mind on this one punch that he thinks he's going to get. And the rounds are going by and going by. If he trained for a fight and think, okay, this is a tough guy, we're going to go 12 rounds, we're going to be breaking this guy down, that's a whole different mindset. I'm always talking about mindset because you have to be able to have the ability to actually switch it up in the fight, which can be very difficult to do. And you have to have the ability to have the right mindset when you go into the fight. Unfortunately, that right hand that dropped him, or whatever punch it was that dropped him, didn't help Anthony in the first round. And he admitted that, to be fair to him, straight after. And that's what fighters should do. Just keep it 100. That didn't help me. Okay, that's happened to me before in a fight. So I fully understand. I always try to understand fights, and it's easy because we've been in the ring. We've gone in there. We know the thoughts that go through fighters' heads. And that didn't help him. So he ended up being in a fight that I still think, as you said, benefits him. Because he's got rounds in. That 1 round knockout would not have helped Anthony in the slightest. Bro. And he wouldn't have liked to get punched up the way he did in the fight, coming out. He's a pretty boy. He don't want to be, if I'm going to get bruised up, let me get bruised up from some serious bruiser, a big name bruiser. That's a hard puncher. Not a guy that's kind of just below these guys. Like, I would consider Anthony a level above this guy. And so would Anthony. So Anthony don't want to be taking those kind of punches. But because of the style that he fought, because he thought he was going to still get this knockdown, he was always in range. He was not trying to come out of it. He probably didn't get punched up that much by Better Beef as much as he got punched by this guy.
Well, let me tell you this. I have to answer these guys, and this is what I'm going to do, because I don't want to think anyone think, well, because, you know, Spencer stand up. I am stand up.
What is going on? How can I be the only one? How can I be the one that's left on the show? So what, everyone's gone now?
No.
It's too funny.
Sorry about this. Some technical difficulties going on here.
Yeah, man. Obviously, it's not even fair because I can't even get to read the comments. At least I can chat to the people in the thing, man.
I don't know what's going on there, baby.
That was nuts. Spencer just went missing.
He just cut. Let me ring him quickly.
God just cut me off the thing, you know.
What are you playing at, man?
Like, back in, he just cut me off, man. My fingers cut me off. I'm here.
Say no.
Come on.
Yeah,
Spencer, I was busy laughing here, bro.
The thing just chopped me off, bro.
Imagine I'm the one left on the show.
It's Tunde. You know Tunde, like the one talking about his fighter. It's Tunde that's doing some juju. Mash up the thing.
Dear. Listen, it's going to be an incredible fight with Buatsi and Yarde. And you'll see Yarde at his very best fighting Buatsi, and you won't see what you saw on that night because it's a whole different build-up. It's a whole different opponent. It's a whole different preparation. Like, it's all different. So you have a different product at the end of the preparation because the mindset's different, preparing's different. So it won't be. You can't even begin to think this is the fighter that's going to turn up against Buatsi and compare the both because we've made those mistakes before.
Listen, man, it is what it is. But while you're here, Mark, while you're here, because we only got like 10 minutes left. But while you're here, we saw Anthony Joshua lose to Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm saying to you now, because there's talk like...
pleasure to be there in that atmosphere, man.
I see you. I did see you down in your bossy suit, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, do you think Anthony Joshua could win the rematch?
Look, we know boxing. Anything could happen, right? So I'm not going to say AJ can't win a rematch. That's insane. What I would say is with Triple D already on a high, just took care of business, just building up with his trainer. Everything's going for him. It's very difficult to beat a guy that didn't just beat you on points and just about, and it was 50-50. He went in, demonstrated his power, demonstrated his skill set and what he trained to do, pulverized you. And when you tried to match him with warrior fight punch for punch, you got outpunched. When you tried to box, you got outboxed. So Triple D's on the high. So you can't go into that fight and think, and AJ, he must have messed up. He's going to come in a lot better. He's going to smoke Triple D this time. It's very difficult to bet against Triple D in fight number 2 because he is buzzing right now and he's looking good and he's going to get better in the next fight. And what he didn't get right in the last fight, he'll improve on again in this one. So the closer they call for the rematch, is the less chance AJ is going to win that rematch. So if he goes,
so what do you think? So Mark, what do you think? What do you think? Like AJ would have to do to win the rematch? And do you think, like many people are saying, that AJ's corner was praying when he looked over into the other corner to see the energy that was being outputted by Don Charles, by Ian Drewbury, and by that Fearon? Do you think like AJ's corner was praying?
I don't know about AJ's corner because I didn't like what Ben was saying to AJ. AJ needs a calculated corner who really understands the science of fighters and the mindset of fights, while in time he needs a trainer to be very calculated while the fight's going on. Ben Davison normally is quite calm and calculated, but his calculated advice was just wrong. It was all wrong. He should have told AJ to wake the hell up, okay? You're in here with a guy that's trying to smash your head off. Where is your defense? This is what we should have been hearing in there. Psh, psh, psh. My friend, this guy's trying to stop you from being a 3-time champion. Get your defense up and start parrying the basics. Pop out, block and jab, come back at him. You're both big guys. This could be a great fight. Show him that you're better. Slip the punch. Go to the body. Come upstairs. It was a time to shine. But I didn't see all of that skill set. And I've been hearing a lot of talk about improvement. He's going with this trainer, he's going with this guy. There was all this big talk, and people just thought, yeah, he's with Ben Davison now. He's settled. He's with the guy, and then he comes out and fights like it's 10 years back. He's just went 10 years back. So, and then listening to the advice of the corner, I'm not surprised either. It was like two buddies just trying to buddy it out through the fight. Yeah, what should we do? Shit. What are you talking about, bruv? This is a strategic in the corner fight game. With you chatting about how a man is shit and all that, that's not cutting it. No wonder you got pasted. Like, deal with this thing proper, bro. His corner let him down. AJ let himself down. And if he wants to come at this and be better, he's going to have to really focus on his fundamentals. Blocking, jabbing, his footwork, and timing for counter punching that right hand. He could be right in there with Dubois and give us a great fight. It's his mindset that's probably could let him down. I think that's where the struggle is for AJ. Just coming into the fight with the right mindset.
All right. I hear that, Mr. Prince. And because we've got 3 minutes left on the show,
yes,
I want to know this. Tunde Ajayi, I'm listening from Morocco. My internet keeps cutting out, and I can't wait to deal with some of you bots. Number one is this. Tunde Ajayi, you don't need to worry about nothing. It is what it is. Enjoy your break. Man's telling us where he is now as well. I didn't even know where he was. But you just relax.
Exactly. Have a good time.
Relax. Baba Tunde, relax. Relax yourself. But now, there's that. And we've also got the big one, right? No longer for the Undisputed Championship, but it still is the Undisputed Championship as far as I'm concerned, right? With Usyk and Fury. How do you see that one, Mark?
For the simple reason that people are not talking about the fact that Fury had rounds where he literally toyed with Usyk. People are not talking about this. And I'm sitting there thinking, was I the only one that saw these rounds?
Brother, let's call it as it is.
But listen to me. Fury has got Usyk's number. And Usyk knew it. He'd never been in a fight where a guy has him up like that. Never. Here's why Fury lost that fight. Because his mindset again, playing around. No, mate, this is undisputed. You need to come in this with the same attitude you're fighting Wilder. This guy can kill me. But you never respected Usyk like that. You called him the little man. A little man can't beat the big man. I'm telling you, mindset makes or breaks, wins or loses fights. And Fury's let him down. That's why he lost. He didn't lose because Usyk's so great. We give him props. Usyk is a great. Let's give him all these props. But Fury had him up, mate, playing with him. If he switched and done and fought like he fought Wilder, like this man could kill me, whole different ball game. He wouldn't have been doing this with his hands down and all of this. No, mate. He would have took care of Usyk, took him out, beat him up, broke up his body. He already knows Daniel Dubois showed everybody the body shot's the key for my man. He can't handle heavyweight power down here.
You know what? I'm really looking forward to that fight. I am really
Big
looking
time.
to, you know what I mean? So it has
Big
been
time.
plum pleasing pleasure for me to have Sam Jones on. Sam Jones just sent me a message saying, like, anything that Mark Prince wants in the help of for his foundation, I'll be there for him. They sent me the message, said his battery died. He just got back in. He said, yeah, thanks for having me on the show. I said, you know what? The fair play to Sam Jones for coming on the show with his right hand to God talk. You know what I mean? And I want to know what God he's talking about. I told you the man's devil worshippers. But anyway, man worship the devil. Man, I tell you shit. But now, big up Sam Jones for coming on the show.
Big up Sam Jones.
Big up to Mark Prince.
Give my number, Spence.
Yeah, and I also want people to know that this week, look, someone throwing some Snapchat money before I come out of this thing. But boy, right, you're sending clap on fire signs. You want to send some money, Bobby, right? Right? But no, I want to say this week I'm in Wolverhampton. I'm in Wolverhampton this week, Friday, where it's the Lennox Lewis tour, and I'm the first one to head the tour. It's by Gold Star Promotions. Make sure that you come down. Right. It's on Gold Star Promotion. I'm saying this right now, so I can rip this and put it on my Instagram. So come out for the Gold Star Promotions of Lennox Lewis. He's doing a 6-city tour. It starts in Wolverhampton. Then I believe that he's doing Birmingham. He's doing Sheffield. He's doing quite a few places. But I'm saying right now, it's an honor for me to Lennox is my brethren. So I'm in with a friend. So I'm going to be talking like I'm talking to you right now, Mark. So it's cool.
Yeah,
but for all of the people who haven't got a ticket, click the link on my bio. Make sure you come out to see the legend and British boxing's last undisputed heavyweight champion, Mr. Lennox the Lion Lewis. Make sure you come out for that. Also, so Lee Esser just said, Spence, ask Mark if he could train any present day fighters, who would he train? So any fighters right now, who would you train, my friend?
Oh, wow. That's such a good question. Okay, so I'll be honest, After I saw AJ lose to Ruiz and I saw his comeback performance, as much as everyone was excited that he won, I knew his mindset hadn't come back yet. And I was like, I'd love to train this guy because they got to get in his head. He needs coaching with his mind as well. You know, it's great fighters getting the training. They're all physically ready. But this is a mental game. This is a chess game. And if you don't step up to the chess table knowing that you've got all the strategy to smoke this guy, checkmate this individual, listen, the fight can turn out dodgy. And that's what's been happening to AJ since. So he's one of the guys I would love to get involved with because that's a challenge for me. How to get into his mind, to see him fighting on the level that I believe that he can be. Because when he first turned pro and we talked together in the car, I saw somebody who was like a student of the game. And that should have changed over the years. And I'm still hearing the student sort of talk like, I'm just a baby in the game. But I was a baby in the game. But I knew at some point, that's done. I've arrived. I'm the man. So AJ needs to know that I've arrived. I'm the man. And I still see him searching for that trainer that would really help him. But you've had them. It's you. It's you. And I would love to help him with that. So AJ will probably be number one guy.
AJ? Well, you've heard Mark Prince would love to work with you, even if it's just down for the mind and psychology.
Yeah.
You've heard it here, but you know what I mean. It's no good you try to come on the Fighters Right begging a job. AJ is never gonna bring you into no. You know that already.
And it's all right, but she asked the question, so I'm just saying. I know. But my thing right now is, I just want to.
You never know. Listen, bro. You never know.
I just want to serve fighters. If I can,
make
fighters get that edge to perform even better, that's what I'm great.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to say. Watch. When is my time spent? Watch. And I'm in the corners and I'm working with fighters, and I'm helping them prepare for fights, and I'm that performance coach to get extra percentage. My friend.
I believe, Mark, that you could do that. Have you got your license yet? You got your license, yeah? Trainer's license.
Got everything.
Well then, so if you got everything, so what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
The right fighter, I suppose.
Brother, you see all this right fight. Yeah? You have to create, you have to mold. I see Tunde Ajayi.
Yeah, 100. I agree with you.
With
you build them.
Under 12 amateur fights. I'll show you some little, right? But build up for you to become a world title, 2-time challenger and now a contender. Right?
100%.
So when men are sitting down saying, oh, well, I'm just waiting for the right fight, brother, that right fighter will never come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I suppose just seeing that person that gels
like
me.
the great Marcus Garvey said that God and nature first made us who we are. Then out of our own creative genius, we make ourselves who we want to be, follow that great law, put God and the skies as our limit and eternity of measurement. So
100%.
Therefore, Mark, when you've got everything, that means you're paying the board. Are you training any pro fighters right now?
No fighters I'm training right now. Apart from the youths that I'm building up.
You got trainer's license already, yeah? So I don't even know how much a trainer's license is because I've given up mine ages ago.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know how much it is. But it must be about £200, right? So you're giving them £200 a year to not use it.
Oh, I'm just getting mine right now. Mine's just going to come through.
Well then,
so
right. So you just got it. Right. So what I'm trying to say to you, you hear it now on the fighters, right? That Mark Prince, OBE, what people should recognize it, right?
It hasn't come back to me yet. Let's just get it exact.
Let me tell you.
Come back, but I'm going through the process.
Listen to me. They are definitely going. Listen, I've seen certain man who got trainer's license. They couldn't teach a dead pigeon to lay down. Now, how would they? Right, and they've got trainer's license. You know. I mean, 1 week they come in the gym. 1 week they're in the gym. They're preparing for a white collar fight. 2 weeks after, they're handing out water to a man. 3 weeks after, they're showing man how to be on the pads. You know what I mean? Do
you know what, Spence? Can I be deadly honest with you? Can I be straight honest? Because I think I answered that question quickly. I'll be honest. I think that I've been trying to establish what I'm doing in segments. Like, I respect fighters so much that I think I turned down a fighter recently. There was a guy that's starting to do some work. Michael, he's got the monkey on his back. Like, I helped Michael. He came down to Tottenham gym and he said, I've got a fight coming up. Can you help me out? So I was meeting him in the morning. Now, listen to this, Spence. I showed Michael, and this is why I love this guy. I showed Michael this one move. I said, do this move in the fight, and that's all I'm going to teach you for this fight. Afterwards, we'll start building. It was a slip under the jab and come up with the uppercut. We practiced that every single time I linked him. Guess what fight? The just got punch this guy, smoked this guy with. The same punch that we worked on. I haven't worked with him for long. It's just that I know how to drill fighters to get timing, to do things and get their head right.
Nice. Okay? That's nice. Now, if you know how to do all of this, talk is cheap, money buys houses. I'm telling you to put that into practice because I know there are men that don't have the smidgen of your understanding that are actually training pro fighters right now. And these men have the temerity to even comment on boxing, right? So therefore, where I know people who know this thing, right? So therefore, then go out and go and do it. It's just like when certain people, I know how long Tunde's been in this game. Matter of fact, I brought this brother in the game. If it wasn't for me, Tunde would still be in Peckham, you know, shot with his camera, right? So I'm telling you this now, right? I'm telling man this now. Like, he's paid his way and done his dues and all the rest of it, yeah. I'm right. And the thing about it is this: you see on the internet is very much undefeated. Now I'm trying to show man this straight standard. My respect don't come from man on the internet. My respect comes from the people. My respect comes from the people in the trade. The man them in the trade know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? Straight standing. So when man said,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, what exactly does Spencer do inside boxing?"
Mm-hmm.
Brother, if they know the certain deals that I've done, or if they know the certain things, or
they just don't know.
positions that I put other man in, if they only knew
they just don't know.
a smidgen of that.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you this straight standard, you, my friend, have to now put this into practice because there was so many con artist people in boxing. And we, as our own fraternity, we need to eradicate these con artists that are stealing a living in this sport when we know how deadly this sport is. Right?
100%.
Simple as that. So I don't want to hear no talk from nobody. You, Mark,
Go and do it.
Go and do it. I love the way that you're going out, you're doing all your stuff for the kids and all the rest of it. And yes, it is a tumultuous story. We know the story of your son and everything else. You've done that. That's cool. Yeah. But you can do other things. Reason why? Because you're in the gym training these young kids to aspire to something which is beautiful. At the same time, you could give an hour a day, hour and a half, 2 hours a day to a profile, mentor a profile. You can have this chance now for you, Mark Prince, OBE, to be very vicarious and live through a fighter. Give that fighter and steer that fighter in the correct way. Reason why? Because you've done it. And more than anything, I want people to realize that Mark Prince is one of the most motivational people that I know. You can never be down around Mark Prince because you say, no, bro, God's got a different purpose for you. And then you start rolling with it. So therefore, I'm saying to you now, because I'm just on it. I mean, speak it to you, see what you say. Grab this thing with 2 hands, Mark Prince. Because if you don't train any pro fighters right now, I'm telling you now, that is sacrilege. Absolute sacrilege.
I got you.
And on that note, because we're talking over the time,
I've got the idea. You just kicked things off for me. Big up, Spencer.
Thank you very much. Dream it, believe it, become it. Come on up. Thank you.
Big up to you and Tunde, man.
Come on. Thank you very much. A blessing for standing for Tunde Ajayi, who's living it out right now in Morocco, right? Drinking Moroccan tea and eating a little. Listen, brother, I see Tunde post some things. He sent me some posts, like the food that they sent him. I know, because Tunde says I'm the one that likes to eat. No, brother. Tunde Ajayi is the one that's like, listen, Tunde's going to come back from there hot, fat. He better hope that it's really hot in Morocco right now to burn off because I'm going to see this brother just munch down some big pieces of food and everything else. But, bro, absolute plum pleasing pleasure that Mark Prince has joined me today on the Fighters Right. I sent him a message earlier today. He said it'd be an honor to come on the show. So thank you, Mark, for blessing us with your wisdom and your knowledge.
Thank you, my brother.
Every single person that's been on here today. I could jump onto Lawrence Okoli, but I'm not going to. I'm going to save that for another day because Mark's got things that I want to keep him up. And also, I want to
get on that Lawrence Okoli.
Shout out to Big Mo's Diner in Ilford. Tunde and Auntie Yarde is just behind their gym where they train. So I went to Big Mo's Diner. So I got to say a massive big up. I went there with my 2 beautiful little daughters. And we had a blast. I ate so much food. It's like an American style diner. It's like you're walking into Happy Days. You know what I mean? So I went into Big Mo's Diner. Absolutely incredible. The food, the service, everything was incredible. Massive thank you to Platinum Promotion as well for hooking it up. And I'm going to say to every single one of you, you have a fantastic next strong 7 days. We don't do weekdays at all. Everything's strong. So peace, 2 fingers, I'm out. Dream it, believe it, become it. Come on up. I'm gone. Have a beautiful next 7 days. Thank you, Mark Prince, for jumping on. Love, my bro.
Peace and love to everyone, man.